HIV today is easily treatable. Yet, for many young people and children, finding out that they are HIV positive can be a frightening experience which they struggle to overcome. So why is this? And what can be done to make it better?
Hi, my name is Danny. I'm 26 years old. I'm a filmmaker and I was also born with HIV.
As I grew up and started to ask questions about the frequent doctor visits and blood tests, I was gradually given answers. I was told I had bugs in my blood that would attack my defences. The medicines would send them to sleep. Only at the end was I told that I had HIV.
I was 11 years old. Suddenly everything just made sense. For me, I wasn't frightened because I already had enough knowledge of what HIV is. But sadly, this isn't always the case, either in the UK or in Africa.
This is Innocencia, who lives in Malawi. She first learned about HIV at school.
HIV kills. That was the only thing that I know by that time. Then once you are found HIV positive, you are dead.
When she was 13, Innocencia started to get sick. She recognised HIV-related symptoms from her school lessons. She also saw her father taking medicine and started to ask him questions.
He was like shouting at me, saying, don't you even dare to say that I'm HIV positive, and don't you even try to find by yourself if you are HIV positive or not. Because as long as you do that, you are not going to be part and parcel of this family.
Innocencia disobeyed him and went by herself to the clinic. The test came back positive.
I was so confused. I couldn't understand what was happening in my body because it was like there was no one who was helping me.
Innocencia remembers sitting by a river and planning how to kill herself. Fortunately, her brother found her and convinced her that having HIV does not mean you will die.
The main difference between my experience and Innocencia's was the knowledge that we had growing up. Through a process over time, I was given correct information that was designed to reduce any fear. She, on the other hand, found out suddenly after learning about HIV from school prevention campaigns designed to frighten children into abstaining from sex.
In Malawi, there is a song which a generation of school children have grown up chanting. AIDS is a killer, and that's why people die.
One of the major challenges that we found is that despite the policy discussion and the focus on disclosure as a process, it remains disclosure as an event. So it's significant, but it's often imbued just into one moment, into one conversation, into one discussion.
So what is going through the mind of children during this one-off event when they are told that they have the HIV virus inside them? To get an idea, we asked HIV-positive children attending a peer support group to draw images of how they had believed the virus to look at the time that they were told. They drew the things Malawians fear most. Poisonous giant centipedes have an excruciatingly painful bite.
HIV
is a fly that feeds on our blood.
HIV is a snake which lives inside us. It is very dangerous and can bite. But the ARVs take away the poison of the snake.
In a country with deadly cobras and mambas, where children are taught to fear snakes, this was by far the most common image used. Snakes are also used to represent evil. A few drew devils, giving an image of being possessed by the virus. When interviewed, it was clear that many still believe these images are what the virus really looks like. The word for virus in Chichewa is the same word used to describe small poisonous bugs. At the end of the session, the children were shown a real photo of the virus, printed onto a t-shirt. There was general surprise. "You say that's the virus," this girl says, "but to me it looks like balloons." Most of the children said that they found the real image much less frightening than their imagined monsters. One girl even described it as beautiful, like a flower. Healthcare workers spend a lot of time encouraging guardians to disclose to their children.
The guardian knows, the parent knows, but cannot talk about HIV to the child, being afraid that maybe the child will commit suicide, or maybe the child, if is aware about his or her status, will go out and be telling others.
Janie is 7 years old. She is HIV positive and on treatment. Janie's mother wants to start to tell her why she is taking medicines, but she is very worried.
It's easy for her to just refuse because she doesn't know why she's taking the drugs every day. Maybe she would still meet people that would stigmatize her in a way that she won't be able to handle. I've read some books that says HIV kills and stuff like that. I think that those messages are very wrong. She's going to meet those books. In Standard 3, she's going to find those books.
Peer support groups like this Teens Club are now popular all over Africa.
It really helped me that we are being told that to be HIV positive is not the end of your life.
But the reality is that most HIV positive African children don't get the benefit. Family or guardians don't want children to attend a club which will identify them as being HIV positive.
I was crying.
Gloria did not go to Teens Club after finding out she had HIV. Now in her early 20s, she drew these images of her thoughts as a frightened, angry, and suicidal 15-year-old.
I thought I should not be the only one to die. I slept with 2 other men who were arrogant with me. I did not want to tell them. I now regret that a lot, and I ask the Lord to forgive me.
Peer support groups cannot resolve everything. The children here often said that finding out they are HIV positive raised a barrier between themselves and their HIV negative peers at school.
Yeah, my chances were not.
Only those who are HIV positive can access information at the Teens Club, while the incorrect and partial information delivered at school is accessible to everyone.
The ideal long-term solution would be for children in schools to have the same education as HIV positive children. This means a change is needed in prevention messages. It means changing the way that we teach all kids about HIV.